deletes are in place. I still have to finish riveting them in and then patching a few holes. Let me show you what I mean here. So we used the old roof or ceiling panels from the inside of the bus, and there were some holes in some of them where lights were and speakers, things like that. And on this side, I only have one panel that I have to patch. So I'll just put a patch on this here. And eventually this will all be cut out for a window for the inside, but I don't have windows yet. So right now I'm just gonna patch it up so that it's watertight. And we've started adding in the rivets. You can see the rivets that are finished and the ones that are unfinished here, and then haven't put them in yet. So using a hand rivet gun, it's gonna take a while to do all these, but we were making a little bit of headway yesterday. And we also got the rub rail back up. Again, got to put all the rivets back into it, but we have a few to hold it into place. So all of this I can do on my own. And we have it done on the other side as well. Here's on the back side. We don't really have any rivets other than the rivets that are put in to hold everything into place. But we had started filling in all the rivets over there yesterday. But we did get all of these panels done. And this last one was a tough one. We had a struggle to get it in, but we did finally get it in yesterday. There's another hole I'll need to patch closed. So, but it's all on now. So very happy, because that was something that I was struggling to get done on my own. That's not something I could have done on my own. So luckily I have some friends that were willing to come out for 2 weekends and help me do that. I kept telling them yesterday, you know, I hate doing all this boring stuff of the build. I'm ready to get to the pretty things. So to kind of help me stay motivated and keep going, I do little projects on the side here. So this is my little potbelly stove. So I got it all polished up. I don't know if I showed it before, but it was kind of rusty. So it's all cleaned up and polished up. And I got a stovepipe put together, and I've got it, I had to reshape it because most stovepipes are round, so you have to kind of bend it into an oval to fit over there. So I need to put some screws in to hold it into place, and I'll also seal it with some wood stove, like gasket putty type stuff. And so this is the beginning of my wood stove. The component of the wood stove is I will need a heat shield behind it. And so I found these 3 2x4 tin ceiling panels that somebody was selling. They had painted them all this creamy white color and had them hanging up in their living room. So I'm taking one panel and I'm slowly, meticulously stripping all the paint from it. I'm not sure how much more I'm going to strip it down, because I have decided I'm going to just go ahead and get an engine heat resistant paint, spray paint, and just spray over it. So I think I'll strip it down a little bit more, because I want to make sure that all the details on here will really pop out once I paint it. And right now it's got pretty thick paint, so I want to make sure that that's taken down a little bit more, like this area is, just so that when I do spray paint it, all the details on here will pop out. But I'm very excited about that, and I've picked out the color that I'm going to spray paint it, so I'll be getting that done soon too, so that that's ready to mount whenever the time comes. The downside to getting the walls up is that it's dark in here now. So I've been working on the electrical, and there's also kind of more an echo now that everything is enclosed. So that's kind of interesting too, but it's nice to be able to see it coming together. And now I can work on getting all the walls finished up. As you can see, I've got the kitchen pretty much framed in there for the most part. I've got most of the, if not all of the AC lines have been run, and so they're ready to go. Whenever I get the walls up, then I can start wiring in my outlets. And I'm currently working on the DC and rethinking the wiring. I was doing 12/2 gauge, but I'm worried that's not going to be beefy enough, so I might be bumping it up to 10/2 or even 8/2 gauge just to make sure that it's going to be powerful enough to get from here all the way back to that wheel well where the electrical will be. So, but I have started, I got 2 outlets wired up, so that's exciting. And so this is going to be the refrigerator, so that's on its own wire going that way. And then I have this electrical outlet, which will also be connected to those 2 outlets down there as well. And then I have, this is going to be a GFCI outlet. So I have another outlet here. I was going to put one down there, but I'm like, I really don't need 4 outlets in the living room, dining room area. I think that's a little excessive. So I'm just going to put one. You probably can't see, you can't see it right now because this cabinet's in the way, but behind that we'll have an outlet and also a USB port. And then I'll have lights hanging up here. I'll have lights over the wood stove area, so the wood stove is going to go right there once that wall is up. So I think that's going to be enough outlets. But anyway, I have to run the wiring so that this is wired first, and so then that makes that also a GFCI outlet as well, so that protects both of those. So I had to kind of wrap my brain around how to wire a GFCI outlet, but I think I've got it down. I have a diagram written down so I don't forget. So I'm very excited. I ordered 3 kind of flush mount ceiling lights. One will be over the kitchen sink here, and then one will be over the dining room, and then I have one for the bedroom. So I learned how to wire up an AC light using DC. So that was exciting to discover that that was possible to do. That opened up a whole new world of lights that I can put in here, because DC lights are not the prettiest things, and I'm a Taurus. I like the material aesthetic of things. It's all part of it. And if this is going to be my home, I want it to reflect who I am and what I like. I need to get the shore power outlet plug mounted in here, and I'm going to have an exterior outlet over here so that I can, if I'm outside and I need to work on something with power tools, I can plug in out there. So I need to put those in, but I need hole saws that are specific sizes, so I have ordered some off of eBay, so I'm waiting for those to come in so that I can get those cut and wired up. And then the most overwhelming thing for me right now is the electrical system. And the more I try to create a diagram and put it all together, the more confused and lost I get. So I have reached out for help on a Facebook group. And so hopefully I'll have someone that can sit down with me and help me with that. My goal was to be in this and traveling by the end of October or November, which obviously end of October deadline is coming very rapidly and it's not going to be there. So November, it just depends on a few things. One, how much I'm working. I did actually work a lot in September between the first 2 weeks driving to conferences and teaching at conferences, and then also working through the school district. I had a lot of trips every day. I was working like 5 days a week, which was great for the income, but not so great working on the bus. And so now I have the opposite problem. I'm getting maybe 1 day a week of work, but that means I'm not getting much income. So I don't really have money coming in. So I need to make sure I have enough to pay the bills. Therefore, I don't have as much to put towards the build. And some of these things are becoming more more costly than I had originally anticipated them being, and they're pretty much necessary expenses if I want to build the bus the way I want to build it. So one of the concessions is it doesn't have any windows, because I was supposed to have windows that I was going to be given for free, but that fell through. So now I need to buy windows, and I don't have anything in the budget for windows. So I will be living with only the front windows and the back windows, which some of these back windows I would like to eventually probably cover up and maybe put some shelving or cabinets there over the bed area. But for now, I am going to leave the windows in so that I have some natural light coming in. And then I'm going to be patching that hole closed, but I will be putting in 2 vents. So hopefully I'll get those 2 vents put in. I'll be able to afford those and put those in. That'll give a little bit of light from above. And I also want to put, where the bathtub goes, I want to put a skylight in over that, which I think I should be able to afford to be able to do that too. So that'll give me some indirect light from above, kind of filtered, diffused light coming in, but natural light nonetheless. So hopefully within the first year of living in it, I'll be able to afford putting in the windows.